very warm welcome to a new edition of A State of Trance. I'm Armin van Buren. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank each and every single one of you, all the listeners of A State of Trance. Last week, I won #1 DJ in DJ Magazine's Top 100 for the 5th time. Guys, the word thank you doesn't express my gratitude enough. I have the best fans in the world, and I'm the luckiest person on earth to be able to say this. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, folks. So, something a little different. Stream marker here. So, we had a couple developments with VR and Star Citizen. A guy named Spectre figured out a way to get motion controls to work as a virtual joystick and HOTAS. And so he's got it working with the Oculus Rift controls, which I'm going to set up tomorrow and start testing. And he's working on a way to get them working with the index controls as well. So, hopefully we'll have a tutorial out within a week or so for that, and everybody else can enjoy having virtual motion controls for their HOTAS setup, or, virtual HOTAS for their VR Citizen setup if they don't actually have joysticks and whatnot. And then that got me thinking of another game that played exactly like that, and that is VTOL VR. So we're going to launch and play some VTOL VR and show you and get some footage of exactly how motion controls can work as far as virtual HOTAS or HOSAS. So, yeah, if you haven't checked out this game or bought it yet, or were thinking about looking into getting it, it's pretty fun. Pretty good little VR game if you're looking for something like it. It's like DCS Lite, I would say. Okay, so let's start out with tutorials. If you've never played this game, basically this is, like I said earlier, DCS Lite. So we're going to start out with just the VTOL flying jet airship type thing, which is like a jet version of a V-22 Osprey. You can fly, I believe, the F-35 and the F-18, and they even have some sort of a new Top Gun Maverick mission that you could check out. But for right now, we're just going to go through the tutorials, and I'm going to show you what I mean by motion controls HOTAS. So, mission briefing Alpha 1-1. Today we'll be learning how to operate the AV242C. Startup procedure is not very complicated, so let's jump in and get started. Okay.
Welcome to the AV42C. First, let's keep the bird from rolling away by using the brake. Now let's move on to the startup sequence.
What?
First, turn on the main battery. This will store power for all of the electronic equipment on the aircraft.
I didn't do the brake. Is that a problem? Okay, so what I mean by motion controls is that you basically grip a virtual joystick and you move it around IRL. So this is the one game that I knew right off the top of my head that has this type of system already built into it. As well as, which would be amazing for Star Citizen eventually, is the ability to push and control every button. But we will get to all of that in a bit. For right now, power. So, enable battery. You trigger.
Now start the auxiliary power unit, or APU. Okay. This will keep the battery charged while we complete the startup sequence.
Okay, so turn on the APU. So battery on, auxiliary power unit.
To allow the APU to spool up.
Okay, let the RPMs get a little high there.
We're now ready to start up the engines.
All right, left engine. Right
Keep an eye on
engine.
the engine gauges and wait for the RPM to settle. The engines are now supplying electrical power, so we can turn off the APU.
Okay, I remember all this.
Now we can turn on the heads-up display. The HUD, or heads-up display, shows you attitude, altitude, velocity, targeting reticles, and other important flight data at a glance.
Yep.
Now turn on the multifunction displays, or MFDs.
Okay.
The MFDs give you access to aircraft features such as weapon configuration, navigation maps, sensors, and etc. You can access these features by pressing the corresponding buttons around the edge of the monitor. You'll learn more about the features of the MFDs in a later tutorial.
Alright, cool. So, camera.
The vehicle is now ready to fly. In the next tutorial, we'll talk about basic flight controls, taxiing, takeoff, and landing.
Alright, cool. So, startup sequence done. We can check out equipment. Oh, cool. Well, finished mission. We'll get to all the cool MFDs in a bit, but hopefully, as you can see from that quick demo, what this game is all about.
The main flight controls are the joystick and throttle. You can grip them by holding the grip buttons, or toggle lock your hands to them by tapping the grip buttons. Let's start with taxiing.
Not really easy to tap with the thing.
Grab onto the main flight controls now.
Alright, so anyways, like I was saying here, hang on, let me play with the buttons. Okay, cool. So like I was saying, hopefully one day Star Citizen will have this level of physical cockpits built within, and the ability to interact with them in virtual reality like such. And speaking of that, have had this idea for a really professional video that I'm going to be making in my back of my head for a long time, which is the different ways to play VR. And one of them would have been motion controls only, sitting in a chair, but I didn't know if Star Citizen would be able to accommodate that. Well, now that we already have it working as a third-party mod, hopefully for multiple different touch controller configurations, then it won't even be a if. We've already got it covered if they don't. So
steer the front wheel, you will have to twist the joystick on the vertical axis.
Yeah.
In order to get moving, we need to tilt the engines to the forward position.
Okay.
Start by holding the throttle trigger to lock the wheel brakes. Then, press and hold up on the throttle thumb control to tilt the engines forward.
Okay, there's the tilt 90 degrees
here shows
up.
The status of the engine tilt. Now if you release the brakes and slightly lift the throttle lever, it will start to roll.
Okay, we are rolling.
Apply small amounts of throttle or brakes to control your speed.
Okay,
Don't go
brake.
too fast.
Brake is trigger. Got it.
Try
Okay.
taxiing over
We're
to
good.
the marked
We're good.
waypoints.
We got this. Okay, so that's throttle, is the arm. Okay, brake. Alright, yeah, I got this. So yeah, full motion controls, and basically, as you can see, rotating and doing everything. And so the idea is that this mod that we're working on, or, you know, not mod so much as a whole bunch of third-party applications to run on top of the third-party applications we're already running, will let us do something like this with a HOSOS or HOTOS type setup. I think HOTOS, double joystick, as far as virtual controls for Star Citizen. And supposedly we could do EVA and all sorts of other stuff.
Throttle down and hold the throttle brake trigger.
Okay.
Let's prepare for a conventional takeoff. Set the brake lock so you can free up your hands.
Yes,
Remember,
please.
if your hands... Set the flaps to position 1.
Woo! Okay, position 1.
Make sure all flight assists are enabled. They should be already.
Yes.
Double check that the engines are tilted all the way forward. The indicator should read 0. Now grab the throttle again and hold the brakes. While holding the brakes with your left hand, you can... Okay, now taxi onto runway 20.
Understood. Taxiing.
Now to take off, raise the throttle to full and steer to keep aligned with the runway.
Alright, let's go.
Keep speeding up, straight down the runway. Now carefully rotate the joystick back. Great, you're in the air.
And
now you can raise the landing gear and set flaps to 0.
Landing gear.
yeah. Okay.
Landing gear.
Now gently steer your nose up to about 20 degrees and keep climbing.
Okay. Easy. So yeah, the thing with motion controls is that you obviously can't feel anything.
Let's practice with the basic flight controls.
Resisting you, unlike an actual physical controller,
left
but
or right to roll towards your target.
if you could only afford
Rotate the joystick
VR
forward or back
and
to
not
pitch your nose towards it. This icon on the heads-up display shows your velocity.
that ball in there. Okay, that's a little low. Okay, that's right where we want it.
Getting close. Prepare to flare your nose up for a nice smooth landing.
Yeah. Shush. Let me concentrate. Okay, we are overshooting. Easy.
Touchdown. Gently bring your nose down now.
Okay, brake.
Keep steering down the runway. Throttle down and carefully apply brakes.
Brake. Ooh, give me brake. I guess we don't need it.
Congratulations.
All right, woo!
This concludes the basic flight tutorial.
We did it.
Next time, we'll make use of the tilting engines and practice vertical takeoffs and landings.
Oh, brilliant. So, that's the flight tutorial. I guess we'll figure out how to VTOL, and then we'll do some sort of mission, and then that's really all I need as far as footage for showing you guys how motion controls work. And then tomorrow I'm going to be setting up motion control stuff for Star Citizen all day. Hopefully we'll get it working with the Oculus Rift, like I said. And then after that I'll have the Valve Index up and running and a tutorial for both of them within a week. For right now, though, we'll do basic weapons. Use rockets, targeting cannonading systems. Yeah, go ahead and do weapon systems because this is fun. Okay, make sure we're nice in the chair. Grab our helmet.
We'll read each feature in more detail later.
Great.
The TGP, or targeting pod, is what you will use to acquire ground targets.
Okay.
To use it, first you must supply power to the sensor mounted underneath the nose of the vehicle. The TGP will be in forward mode by default, which just looks straight forward.
Okay.
To be able to control it, you must designate the TGP as the sensor of interest, or SOI.
Okay. This is very
Now,
important.
you can sleeve the targeting pod around using the thumb control on your joystick.
Grip.
When you move the sensor, it will automatically switch to target mode, which locks its focus point onto the ground while you're flying.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
The yellow arrow on the screen shows the relative bearing to the target point.
We're going backwards. Oh, dear God. Brake. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, why am I just fucking... We're VTOL. Why do we gotta... Okay. Let's get plenty of altitude here before we make our transition. Go ahead and rotate. A bit of yaw there. And then, yeah, let's get climbing.
You can enable the master arm switch.
Okay.
With the weapon system armed, you'll see some new icons in the heads-up display.
Indeed.
At the center, you have the weapon targeting reticle, or pipper.
Yep, the pip.
Up here, you have weapon type, name, and shots remaining.
Cannon, gal, okay.
You can cycle through all the armed weapons by pressing the button on the joystick.
Easy, and...
Pull up. Altitude.
Okay, make another strafe run on him.
Altitude.
Yeah. Well then, let's just go for it.
Pull up. Altitude.
We hitting anything?
Shoot.
1.
Altitude. Altitude.
How do I yaw?
Altitude.
Am I missing a tutorial?
Landing gear.
Shush.
Landing gear.
Okay.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
That's 2.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
And that's
Great
3.
job.
Landing
Now let's work
gear.
with rockets.
Landing gear.
Hydra 70s are small, unguided rockets. By default, each pull of the trigger will fire 1 rocket.
Landing
However, they can be configured to launch rapidly. This is called ripple firing.
Shoot. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Shoot. Landing gear. 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 Landing
Lady,
gear.
shush.
Landing gear.
Making a strafing run.
Landing gear.
Well done.
Landing
You've destroyed all of the targets.
Go us.
This concludes the basic weapons tutorial.
Alright. Go us. We're amazing. Well, that's all the, you know, tutorials that you could do. So yeah, this is the Wasp carrier base F-45, so this is the F-35 version. Oh, they have an AH-94 helicopter. Okay, very cool. Oh, DLC not installed. Interesting. Cool, cool. Multiplayer is work in progress. You can edit colors. So, somewhere along the lines, maybe in the Steam Workshop campaigns. Okay, cool, cool. I mean, pretty interesting little game, but you kind of get the point. It's like DCS Lite. So, yeah. That basically concludes this quick little video as far as, you know, showing what motion controls could do on a HOSOS type system. So, yeah, I'm going to get all this stuff working in the next day or so, and we'll have it up and running with Star Citizen very soon. Thank you guys so much for dropping by and watching. Until next time, as always, stay safe and fly right. Ooh, this chair hurts. This hurts my butt. This is not a good thing to sit in. I need to get a better stool.